Hello everyone and welcome back to the Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay casted by myself. My name is Axel and I don't usually do this. This is actually going to be a requested game. Someone, a good friend of mine, messaged me and says, "Hey, this is a pretty cool game, can you cast it?" Normally I don't say yes to these kinds of things, but it's a pretty good friend of mine, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I said, why not? Just going to go ahead and do it. But either way, in this game we have, as I close my friends, let's see, put that on busy, don't want people messaging me while I'm casting. Spawning in at the east location, we have the yellow Zerg player NrGFuzzy, and on the left-hand side of the map we have the green Protoss player Saladin. And the map is somewhat unfamiliar to me. It should be unfamiliar to you unless you're crazy into StarCraft 2 and you spend your nights studying each and every map in StarCraft 2. This is actually called Sandshorn Mist, I think. ESV Sandshorn Mist AE, I want to say. Let's go ahead and talk about the map just a little bit. This is one of my first times casting a game on this map. I think I've seen it once or twice before. I want to say it's used in the Collegiate Star League. I want to say my school actually played in a clan match in which this map was used. And, oh, if I can remember who we played. I'm Texas A&M, by the way. And we played, oh, who did we play? If I can remember, I would be really impressed with myself. But no, I cannot remember. Played a pretty good team, though. I think I remember it was close. I went to an ace match. But in any case, a relatively unfamiliar map to me, probably to you. So let's look at it. Looks like it's a two-player map, spawning locations on the east and west sides of the map. This is going to be a PvZ, no gas just yet for the yellow Zerg player. We have a natural expansion decently far away from the main. Probably takes 2 or 3 creep tumors to actually get there. I would guess 2, which isn't drastically far, but it's far enough to have to worry about, actually connecting your main and your natural expansion as a Zerg player. Looks like the ramp leading up to the natural expansion is relatively small, relatively manageable. Like a Shakuris Plateau ramp is what I would best describe it as, or perhaps a Taldrim Altar ramp. Outside of your natural expansion. Not the choke at your natural, but you know how there's that path that leads to the third, and then the path that leads to the middle of the map, the ramp that leads to the middle of the map. That's like kind of what this ramp reminds me of. But it looks like NrGFuzzy going to be putting down that hatchery, the probe, trying to delay that as long as possible. Spawning pool is complete. Fuzzy has 4 Zerglings on the way. Meanwhile, the green Protoss player Saladin throwing down a Forge and a Nexus, followed by a Gateway and a Pylon, as standard as can be from both of these players at this point in the game. The only thing relatively non-standard here, in my opinion, is the lack of a gas. A lot of Zerg players have been delaying that gas quite a bit in favor of that drone count, in favor of earlier expansions, in favor of queens. Now, there are a number of risks, upon doing something like this. One of those being which, obviously, if you don't have a guess, you're not going to have Zergling speed very early on in the game, which leaves yourself open to a few scary pushes from the Protoss opponent early on in the game. Say perhaps an early Zealot rush, perhaps like Chrono boosting out 2 Zealots. Those could do quite a bit of damage if you're not prepared adequately with queens, with enough slowlings, with a queen or 2, with a spine crawler. I'm pretty sure I repeated something there. I don't really remember. Just got done with a pretty long day of classes. But in any case, NrGFuzzy going up for a fast third expansion. Fuzzy chrono boosting out 2 Zealots. I have a feeling he's going to attack with these. That wouldn't be a bad idea considering his opponent just now taking a gas. Never mind. Fooling each and every one of us. Actually, there's probably 2 or 3 of you out there who's like, you know what? That's a gas. That's an extractor trick. And you called it, so congratulations to you. But still no gas being taken by the yellow Zerg player NrGFuzzy, and in fact getting a very fast third. Very risky build. Let's talk about the map a little bit more. Looks like, ooh, it's 2 gateways. I thought that was a cybernetics core. I didn't click on it, so it's gonna be 2 gateways chrono boosting out Zealots, and those could potentially do a lot of damage here. Fuzzy did see both of them and still not getting a gas. This is crazy from the yellow Zerg player. He's going to need spine crawlers as fast as possible, at least a queen at every single base, because the Zealots are coming. Oh, flying shark. Because the Zealots are approaching the middle of the map, going by the watchtower, and Fuzzy knows that this is coming just now, taking 2 of his gases. Where are his spine crawlers? None just yet. He's going to be relying on queens here. There's one at the natural third, but this is going to be very scary indeed for the Zerg player. He needs to micro impeccably if he wants to survive this attack. I know it's only 3 Zealots, but those can do a lot of damage, and that can like ruin your game if they get enough drone kills, but we'll see what happens. NrGFuzzy turning around with the queens, trying to micro away, loses one drone, one zealot, I should say, getting surrounded. So Saladin handling this quite nicely, getting a lot of zerglings on the field. Accidentally double-clicking the drones there, but the zealot's going to work right now, but getting nicely surrounded by the yellow Zerg player, and that's not going to do a terrible amount of damage. Income tab shows, wow, 37 to 26, so that did do a lot of damage. As a Zerg player, you never want to be behind this far in the drone count, but that being said, he just built like 10 in a row, so trying to even that up. But again, at this point in the game, you want to be pretty well ahead in that drone count. Saladin doing a good job of not necessarily doing physical damage, but he did economic damage in that he killed a couple drones and caused his opponent to use his early larva on Zerglings rather than drones, which is what you always want to do as a Zerg player. Drone up to like 70 or 80 as fast as possible and then start your unit production. But of course, there are those timing attacks from the Protoss players that you have to worry about, which is the main concern for Zerg nowadays. Zerglings running right, and nope, going to be backing up. I thought they were going to run by, but changing their minds and turning around. 7x core at about 50% on the Orc Gate technology. There are 2 Stargates on the field somewhere. There they are, chrono boosting out Phoenixes. Is Saladin pretty interesting play? Does Fuzzy know anything about this? It doesn't look like it. He did see that second gas at the natural expansion, but that doesn't tell him much at all because he doesn't know that the first one was taken. Of course, he could imply that, but when you start implying things in StarCraft 2, that's when you can get in trouble. Zergling speed is about 50% of the way done for NrGFuzzy. He has +1 melee attacks on the way as well. Also a Roach Warren on the ground, and 3 Spore Crawlers going down as well. So he did scout this tech. I don't know how. I have no idea how he saw that, but he does have 3 Spore Crawlers on the way. I don't think I missed anything. Did an Overlord die to a Phoenix? Or is it just safety Spore Crawlers? Okay, I guess something you can kind of guess as a Zerg player when you see a lot of Zealots coming out early. Obviously, that's a lot of minerals being spent, which means perhaps your Protoss opponent has a lot of gas saved up, which means perhaps they're going to be teching up a little bit, which means perhaps they're going to get DTs or Phoenixes, in which case you would build Spore Crawlers as a response. So that could be why NrGFuzzy did in fact put down that Spore Crawlers, but that's just me theory crafting and thinking out loud a little bit. Anyway, here we go. Now NrGFuzzy knows what's going on, but that's a lot of Phoenixes. 1 Spore Crawler is not going to be enough to deflect these. Well, it is technically because Phoenixes can't kill Spore Crawlers, but these Phoenixes can definitely do a lot of economic damage here. Taking down 1 queen pretty fast. No transfuses available for that queen, and is she going to be picked up? Yes, she is. 1 Phoenix getting microed away. Nice micro there by Saladin, not losing a single Phoenix just yet. Meanwhile, 3 Zealots and 2 Stalkers making their way down to the right side of the map. They're going to get killed extremely fast, it looks like. Yes, they are. Nice surround by the Zerg player. Phoenixes are not done wreaking havoc, taking down 1 Overlord here and looking for more things to kill, and there's 2 Overlords over here that are probably going to die. Saladin doing a lot of damage at the same time. There is a counterattack into the natural third of Saladin. Of course, with this Phoenix harassment, his idea is to get a nice comfortable third behind this, but NrGFuzzy will have none of that. I'm a little bit surprised Saladin didn't keep those units behind. Remember, he had like 2 Stalkers and a Zealot over here. I would have kept those behind here to defend this third from this Ling counterattack, but no, the third is not able to go up. However, at the same time, Saladin's still trying to do a lot of damage with these Phoenixes in the air. And I think he lost 1 or 2, but he does not have the supply lead. NrGFuzzy actually has the supply lead. 85. Actually, it's completely tied. Okay. Oh, the Zerglings are running into the main. A force field is not going to be enough. And what are they going to target down? Trying to get some probes. 2 Zealots being warped in. The Zerglings targeting down the Roboway. I'm not sure about that decision. Will it go down? And no, it's not even going to go down. So Fuzzy just trying to get scouting information at this point. May perhaps try to take down a probe here or there and try to make these Zerglings as cost efficient as possible. But is it too little too late? You know what, I already think these Zerglings are pretty cost efficient, considering they caused this third to go down, and they did some damage into the natural expansion. We'll look at some stats in a little bit once these Zerglings have trotted their last foot, or trotted their last meter, if you're not in the United States. But anyway, another pylon going down, and these Zerglings are not long for this world. Where did this Phoenix go? Where did those Phoenixi go? There's no way they all died. Okay, there they are. I'm like, oh my god, I missed a major engagement where all the Phoenix died. No, I did not miss anything. Well, I might have missed something. I don't miss things. No, I don't. But yeah, a bunch of stuff going on in 2 base from the Protoss player. Income tab shows 74 to 64 in favor of Fuzzy. Nice drone count in that situation. Hydra's on the way. 2 Infestors on the way. Where is the 4th from the Zerg player? That's what I'm looking for right now. He has 3 base fully saturated. gases as well. Not terrible amount of drones at each base. It may be a little oversaturated at his third. Yes, a little bit oversaturated at his third. I would rather him have, you know, a couple more drones at his main and natural expansion, and about 4 or 5 less at his natural third. But all is good in the world for the Zerg player, and the Protoss player still not able to take a third. Of course, NrGFuzzy being extremely annoying with those overlords. Of course, once you get layered, that enables you to drop creep out of your overlords, which means your opponent can't build where your creep is unless they have a Warp Prism. I mean, I think that's the only way you can actually get something on creep. If you have a Warp Prism and you put it in phase mode, you can warp in on creep. I want to say, I know you can't build a pylon on creep, obviously. And Flying Shark chilling with these infestors, hydras, roaches, and lings. Not a terribly scary unit composition here from Fuzzy. I would expect his army to be a lot bigger than this. It does seem quite small, but his main goal right here is to deny that third. I'm not sure if he's going to be successful there. Colossus getting caught out of position, fleeing back into the main. Phoenixes may have to start picking up some stuff to prevent the death of that Colossi, but Saladin reinforcing from his third. And now this army is starting to look a little bit scary. There's no creep here, so the Hydra's going to be extra slow, but lots of Phoenixes here. Oh, the Fungal Growth could go down. There it goes. Actually, yep, the Fungal Growth going down onto those Phoenix. Those could all die incredibly fast. But it looks like there is going to be an engagement here. The Protoss player raining death from above with those rays from those Colossi. They do have a Thermal Lance, and that does so much damage to this unit composition. Very scary indeed. Fuzzy needs Corruptors or Mutalisks or something to deal with this Colossi. In fact, he has 5 Corruptors on the way, so he's going to be using those to deal with the Colossi. Obviously, in an ideal world, you want to target down those Colossi with your Corruptors while dealing with the rest of the army, dealing with the rest of your Protoss opponent's unit composition with the rest of your stuff. But of course, the problem with airplay is all those Phoenixes. One may suggest that the Protoss player has air control here, which in a sense is true, but then again, a lot of Corruptors starting to be produced by NrGFuzzy. He has added on a 4th over here at the top side of the map, getting those gases immediately again. As a Zerg player, as any, you know what, any race, except maybe Terran, your gas should be priority past 2, past 3, past 4 bases. I don't say Terran as much because, you know, Terrans can just make Marines, and those don't require gas, so you can get away with that. But as a Protoss player, obviously High Templar and Colossi, very, very gas heavy. And of course with Zerg, Infestors, Mutalisks, Corruptors, Ultralisks, Broodlords, everything involves gas. But hold that thought. Fuzzy coming forward once again, going up the ramp. I don't like this decision at all. Probably the worst possible location the Zerg player can engage here. The Protoss player has the high ground. Colossi are in the back, but doesn't even matter. Fuzzy charging forward with these Corruptors, trying to target down those Colossi. Force fields trying to split up this army, but not going to be efficient enough. 2 cannons doing a lot of damage on the ground here, as well as some Stalkers being warped in, blinking back to try to dodge the blows from those roaches and from those infestors, but a lot of infested Terrans popping up from the yellow Zerg players. Those do so much damage. Incredibly powerful unit of the Zerg force. Or should I say Terran, because they are infested Terrans. But who knows, Terran gets everything these days. More Stalkers being warped in. Not sure about the decision to warp them there, right in range of those roaches, but it's going to be enough. Saladin, actually Fuzzy I should say, starting to back away. He's not feeling as competent as he once did, but oh no! Saladin going to be losing a free Colossi here. That's not good at all. Trying to take down an infested Terran or 2, but that's not even going to be enough. And look at this. Fuzzy looking incredibly good right now, up 165 to 88 in the supply count, but more Stalkers being warped in. Saladin trying to blink, trying to micro as best as he can, but only so much micro will get you so far when you're down about 100 supply. So it looks like this could be the end for the Protoss player. The third is about to go down. Stalkers trying to be as cost efficient as possible, and Saladin actually doing a pretty good job with his Blink Stalker play. A Warp Prism on the ground as well. Greater Spire on the way. 1 more Colossi in production. But this looks like it could be pretty much over. I mean, the Protoss is going to be on 2 bases. His economy is in shambles. Meanwhile, his opponent, NrGFuzzy, is on 4 bases, adding on a 5th as we speak. But Stalker's a good unit. Stalkers are a decent unit in the PvZ matchup. He has about 15 here, 16. I think I was off by 1 in my blind guesstimate. But you know what? All NrGFuzzy really has to do here is remax logically, you know, with appropriate counters to the units that his opponent has. And you know, his opponent doesn't have much. He's going to be forced to long distance mine with these probes. He does have enough to build another Nexus, but not doing that quite yet. I like this wall up over here, preventing the Ling run-bys, or anything Zerg-related run-by-ish. But Stalkers coming to the center of the map, taking the watchtower, changing their mind and backing up once they see all the creep spread here. Do not want to venture onto that too far, and a mothership is on the way for Saladin. And this concerns me quite a bit, because all that time during that battle, I feel like Saladin had on his mind, okay, I'm getting a mothership, when the battle hadn't even happened yet. So he was investing a lot of money into that fleet beacon and into the actual mothership, and those resources weren't a part of his army. So that could have been a reason he lost that engagement so terribly, and that could be the reason he lost this game. But who knows? You all can speculate all you want, but the fact of the matter is, NrGFuzzy up 198 to 92, a supply. Infested Terrans being thrown out by those infestors, and NrGFuzzy approaching the natural third of Saladin. And this should be the end, to be quite honest. There's not much remaining for the green Protoss player, as NrGFuzzy non-stop roaches, hydras, infestors, corruptors, broodlords, basically scariness on the way from him. And you know, one of the two biggest techs coming forward from the Protoss player, about to complete the mothership and the Dark Shrine. But you know, at this point, I don't think that's going to matter too much, unless he can make like 8 Archons. He doesn't have a lot of gas though. Yeah, I don't see it happening. I mean, no. Yeah, there's the GG from Saladin. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Again, I don't usually do this. I don't usually take requests. I don't from, you know, random people. But it was a friend, and the reasons behind that, obviously, you know, the people who go to my YouTube, they expect a certain level of quality game or whatever. You know, they want to see really good players like Kiwikaki, Destiny, blah blah blah, really top tier players. But you know what? This is I enjoyed that a little bit. And if you enjoyed that, let me know. If you guys like, it's all up to you guys. You're my subscribers. You decide what goes on the channel. So if you want to see more requested games, if you're like, hey, I want you to cast my replay, I mean, we could do that. That can be arranged. But again, it's up to you. I don't want to cast some Bronze Leaguer versus a Masters player and then lose 10,000 subscribers of my 100,000 subscribers. Just kidding, I don't have that many. But just saying, you know, it's up to y'all. So leave your stuff in the comments, and you know how to do that stuff. Like, dislike, all that good stuff. But pretty good game from both of these players. It was mildly entertaining. You know, actually, it was very entertaining. NrGFuzzy obviously outplaying his opponent. A little bit interesting tech choices from the green Protoss player. And that's going to be it for this game. Again, leave comments, leave feedback. I enjoy that stuff, and thanks for watching.